Om Shanti. 23rd January 2019, Wednesday. Today's blessing is, may you have unlimited disinterest by transforming any consciousness of bodies into the stage of soul consciousness. May you have unlimited disinterest by transforming any consciousness of bodies into the stage of soul consciousness. While moving along, if you have no disinterest, the main reason for that is the consciousness of bodies. Until you have disinterest in any consciousness of bodies, you will not be able to have permanent disinterest for anything. To have disinterest, vairagya, in relationships is not a big deal. Maybe many people in the world also have such disinterest. However, here you have to know the many forms of consciousness of bodies and transform those into the stage of soul consciousness. This is the way to become one who has unlimited, behad, disinterest, vairagya. So Baba is talking about vairagya, disinterest. And the main reason that you don't have it is body consciousness. Unless and until you have disinterest in this, you cannot have disinterest for any other thing. To have disinterest in relationship, to have disinterest in other things, that's not a big deal. Many people in the world also have got such vairagya. But the real vairagya, the real disinterest, is disinterest in body consciousness. However, here you have to know the various forms of consciousness of body. But Baba is saying, before you have disinterest for this, you should know various forms of this body consciousness, and then transform this body consciousness into soul consciousness. This transformation is the method or way to become one who has got unlimited disinterest. So there are two things. One is body, another is body consciousness. Deha and Dehabhan. So to convert this Dehabhan, this body consciousness, into soul conscious, Dehi Abhimani, soul conscious stage, this transformation is the vidhi, is the way, is the method to develop Behad, unlimited vairagya or disinterest. So the greatest form of disinterest is disinterest for the body consciousness. If one doesn't have this and one develops other vairag, other forms of disinterest, they may never remain permanent. Some may give up food, some may give up sleeping, some may give up some conveniences, some may give up some physical enjoyment. But all these things do not contribute to real vairagya. Real vairagya, real disinterest is disinterest in body consciousness, disinterest from body. So there are two words. One is body, another is body consciousness. And they are very much interlinked, both of these. First we'll see about disinterest in body, and then this is more subtle, body consciousness. Body is gross, body consciousness is subtle. So how to develop disinterest in body? How to develop disinterest? Because this body pulls like anything. Body is a great charmer, attractor, imposter, someone who deludes or seductress. This body one need to understand. And we develop disinterest only in those things which we do not like. We develop some sort of hatred, or we know the disadvantages, or we understand the evils associated with that particular object. For example, a person who is smoking from last 40 years, suddenly he realizes the damage it has done to his life. Suddenly he realizes how much he has wasted his money, his time, his energy, his social life, his family life, everything, his personal life, everything has been destroyed. So when he realizes that, then he develops sudden and intense dislike for that thing. Sudden vairag, sudden disinterest. So, how do we develop disinterest for body? In Gita, there is a well-celebrated shloka, and that summarizes the ways to develop disinterest for this body. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. O Arjun, see as a detached observer what all things happen in this life. First is Janma, birth. Human birth itself is so painful. If you see, the process of birth is painful. We come in this world crying. Mrityu, death. These are all things related to body. The birth is painful. Death. There are very few souls who depart from the mortal coil very easily. Rest. All deaths are painful. Most of the people who die in hospital, you must have seen, with lines, tubes and drains, ventilators and so many other things. They die a very painful death. Death itself is a painful process, except for those who are yogis. Otherwise, a person dies with his desires unfulfilled, with his expectations, with strong attachment to people, and soul is unwilling to go out, and yet it goes. So death is a very painful process. There are people who study death. That's known as thanatology. Study of death. Thanatology. Thanatos is death. So, death, by looking at death, one should develop vairag for the body. The third is mrityu, jara, disease. No matter how healthy one looks, but there is no guarantee. Vyadhi. Vyadhi means those nobody can claim that he can never have disease. Sickness, diseases. Where is the beauty? Gone. The person who is most beautiful, look at the same person when that person is sick or contract cancer with metastasis everywhere, undergoes chemotherapy, gets tuberculosis, some chronic illness, goes on dialysis, on ventilator, or some chronic incurable disease. Where is the beauty of that person? So janma, mrityu, vyadhi, and then jara. Jara is old age. Where is the beauty in old age? Teeth have fallen. You can't hear. You can't see. You can't eat. You can't walk. You need support. Person is bathing in his own stool and urine. If paralyzed, people have deserted him. The near and dear ones have kept him in old age home. This is what old age is. You can't have that stamina, that energy which was there in the youth. The prime time is gone, and now the evening of the life. So Baba often says, look at these things of the world and develop disinterest. This is what body is all about. So Janma, there is a pain. Mrityu, death, there is a pain. Disease, there is pain. Old age, there is pain. Then fifth, look at the content. What is the content of this body? What this body contains from inside? The most filthiest things in the world. So blood and mucus and fluids and stool and urine. Baba says this is a very chi-chi. This is very dirty body. What beauty one sees from outside, that is just skin dip. Remove the skin and what you see from within. It's all skeleton, bones, muscles, blood, mucus, and nothing else. So know the reality of this body, what this body contains. And then sixth, know the tamo pradhan nature of this body. All the 5 elements are tamo pradhan. How can body be beautiful? In today's Sakar Murli, Baba said, the only beautiful persons are this Lakshmi Narayan. Theirs is natural beauty. No one else can say that they are beautiful except these people. So these bodies have become tamo pradhan. Bodies have come to the most degraded stage. So look at this body and look at the tamo pradhan nature of this body. And you will develop vairag. You will develop disinterest. And then contemplate on the sense pleasures. Sense pleasures. How transient they are. All the sense pleasures. Sense gratification. What are the defects of this sense pleasures? Addictive. All sense pleasures are addictive. They create craving, longing, excitement, withdrawal symptoms if not given. Person can become violent. It raises curiosity. It creates wants. Person needs it more and more, more and more. And there is no point of satiety. There is no point of satisfaction. Person remains discontent, distraught. The more one gets, the more one wants. And there is no point at which person feels totally fulfilled. So there is no point of sense satisfaction in sense pleasure. And they take you more and more towards body consciousness. They make you lose self-control, the moral control, and they induce moral lassitude, spiritual turpitude. So these are very pernicious, dangerous forms of pleasures. The real pleasure is soul consciousness as opposed to this sense pleasure. These are indriya sukh. These are sense happiness as opposed to super sensuous happiness, super natural, super null happiness. So one should contemplate deeply on these things. There was that Gautam Buddha who was born and brought up in palaces, who never saw any poverty, who never saw anything outside world, of the outside world. And when he sees these 3 pictures, when he sees death, he asks his charioteer, will I also die? The charioteer Channa says, yes, you will also die. The next day he sees a deceased man and he asks, will I also fall sick? And Channa says, yes, everybody falls sick. And he asks, will I also become old? And that charioteer says, yes, everybody has to become old. So when he sees these three things, he develops intense vairagya, intense disinterest in this world. And on the fourth day, when he sees a sannyasin, he asks, who is he? And he says, the charioteer says, he is the one who has given up the world. He is a monk, and his desire is to attain freedom. And then that intense vairagya rises in the heart of Gautam. And then he decides to leave this world. And when his wife is sleeping and when his son is sleeping, he goes out of this world, never to turn back again. So that was one Mahatma Buddha who saw these things and he left the world. And we see these things every day. And we still don't have an iota of disinterest. Probably we see and we don't see. We see but we don't think. We don't realize how evanescent everything is. Everything is so transitory. Everything is so transitory. So this world, one must know the real body. What the body they are showcasing in cinemas, in movies, and showing it as beautiful, embellishing it with dresses and decorations, and writing poetries and lyrics, and showing as if the great sense of source of pleasure. There is no pleasure in this body. So this is the reality of the body. One. Now this is about body. Now there is a subtle form which is known as body consciousness. Now what is this consciousness? That I am male, I am female. That is one. Deha bhan. And then there is a deha abhiman. Abhiman is something like you are proud of your specialities. And then there is a deha ahankar. There is arrogance, where one is proud of one's position and post. The subtlest is body consciousness, deha bhan. So now what are the different forms of this body consciousness? Forms of body consciousness. To get upset, to have mood off, to be unhappy, to cry, to become sensitive, goddess, feeling Devi, to get disturbed, to feel insulted, and what are the subtle forms of body consciousness? Yeah, so you feel proud or you feel insulted. Then feeling shy, feeling timid, feeling fearful. These are all the forms of body consciousness. Then subtle forms of body consciousness. To boss over someone. Insulted. To boss over someone. To think that I am junior, I am senior, somebody is junior. I know more and somebody knows less. I am holier, they are less holier. I am intense effort maker, they are dull people who don't do any intense effort. I am on Srimad, they are not on Srimad. I am Jnani and they are stupid fools. And Ajnanis don't know anything, simply sitting and listening Murli but not understanding anything. Well, I churn it, I know more, I understand more, my dharnas are very good. And these, they don't have any dharnas, simply sitting. They are newcomers, we are very senior. We are staying in Madhuban, they are just Sevadharis. They come and go, we stay here. I am Swan and they are torques, and then any knowledge induces ego. That's why knowledge is sometimes a dangerous weapon. But the real knowledge is a knowledge that makes one humble. That will be the only real knowledge. All other informations or tidbits, pieces of knowledge, they induce ahankar, ego. What else? What are the other forms of body consciousness? I am Kumar. They are grihasthi. They are householders. I am from I have seen Baba. Okay. Then we have many times we get many patients from Mount Abu, and they say that we have seen you, Baba. Yesterday also somebody was saying, who is admitted, she was saying, this great man I have seen when I was child. So there are many people who have that also. Then forms of body consciousness. I look beautiful. I look beautiful. They are not very beautiful. I am very decent. My manners, my etiquettes are good. I know how to behave. My handling power is very good. My management power is good. I can manage any program so well. I am a very good stage coordinator. And these, they will spoil any program if they become stage coordinator. So I manage things nicely. I handle people nicely. Then my qualifications are, I am educated. These are uneducated. They don't know anything. Then I am the speaker, I am a churner, I am and what else? I am Indian. Oh yeah, that can also be there. I am in good terms with Dadi. I know all the seniors. I know all the seniors. I know all the people who here. If you need anything, just let me know. If you want Toli, I'll just call once and you will get everything. What you want, just tell me. Because I am very senior here, I know everyone here. So this is all different forms of body consciousness. And what else? What else? To become more conscious of health is also body consciousness. You keep on coming for checkup every 1 month. Do full checkup. Wastage of resources. If everything is free, that doesn't mean that one keeps on visiting doctor every now and then and keep on doing full checkup every now and then. And doing unnecessary investigations. And this is all forms of body consciousness. To be too much talkative is also a form of body consciousness. To spend too much is a form of body consciousness. Fashion is a very great form of body consciousness. And then you have tattoos, and then you have creams, and you have powders, and then you have ornaments, and then you have rings, and then you have this bangles, and you have what? Mehendi, and then you have hair dyer to make the white hairs black, and to have wigs, and then to have golden teeth, and to have that collyrium, kajal, and to have lipsticks, and to have different nail polishes, and to have variety goggles and variety caps, and then variety shawls. The shawls, lot of holes. They hardly make you, they don't give you anything. They don't make you, protect you from cold. But still many people have that. I don't know, good ventilation. That's more for a style or fashion rather than for protection from cold. So, then what else? Yeah, they have that. No, not bangle. What is that? Kada. Bracelets. They also have. And then to have many mobiles. 2-3 mobiles. With different numbers. And different clothes. Morning different, evening different, night different. A lot of different chappals. Or a dozen of chappal. Spectacle, goggles. And this different shoes. For different occasions. And what else? And then that's those creams, no, the saints, perfumes and deodorants. We see so many people, BKs all over the world, they come with very strong scent sometimes, very strong perfume. So that is also, some people say it is necessary if you go in some program, it's good. Huh? Grooming standard, but I don't think Mama ever used it. And I don't think Baba ever used it. You take good bath, that's enough. But then they say, foreigners say that you should do some of it if you go to some big programs or so that you should not stink. Your body should not smell. But I don't think, personally, I don't feel that is all. Anything of these things are necessary. And what chemicals they are made up of, that is a separate issue. What they are putting in that. And then different oils, scented oils, and then long hair. What is that gajra known in Hindi? English I don't know. So these are various forms of body consciousness. So many forms of body consciousness. To show that I am superior, I am head here. To go ahead everywhere. To keep occupying the screen space, the stage, all the time. So these are the different forms of body consciousness. Baba doesn't teach us all of these. Baba teaches us to remain humble, to remain simple, to remain royal. The most beautiful people in this world are Lakshmi Narayan. Theirs is a natural beauty. And in this world there are dirty pictures. One feels ashamed even to look at them. And they have destroyed the intellect. This is in today's Murli. These pictures, these posters, these statues, they have destroyed the intellects. So, be simple, be royal, be cheerful. That is the best ornament or decoration or fashion or beauty, the natural beauty. And purity is the real beauty in this world. You don't need all of these things. Those who are first will be the last in my kingdom. Those who are last will be first in my kingdom. Bible says, those who are first here will be the last there. Those who are last here will be the first there. This is in regards to this show-off, exhibition, and all those things. So, Baba doesn't want to real vairag. Real disinterest is disinterest from body and body consciousness. This BC, our journey is from BC to SC. Body consciousness to soul consciousness. In today's Sakar Murli also Baba said, just keep on practicing. I am soul, not this body. I am soul, not this body. I am getting inheritance. Baba's inheritance. But there is a effort, mehnat in this. But this is the simplest form of yoga. Keep on practicing, keep on practicing, keep on practicing. I am not this body. This body is subjected to birth, death, disease, old age. What is the content of this body? It is a tamo pradhan and the sense pleasure, the defects of sense pleasures. These sense pleasures are defective. They are not the real truth. The whole world is whirling in that sense pleasure. So, be unlimited, have unlimited disinterest. Yeah, when there isn't too much of things, then also we develop disinterest. For example, a person who is rich, he develops disinterest in richness. But then that doesn't mean that you will become rich first and then develop. Like there is a joke which had come and which says, I am thinking of taking sannyasa. I'm not interested in this wealth, in this pleasures, in this money and in this all the conveniences, all the comforts of the life. I am not interested. I am going and taking sannyas. But then he says, first let me acquire this. Then I will take sannyas. But I don't have this. So let me first become rich, then I will develop disinterest. But that is not the way. you don't have anything, it's better to understand what is the defects of those things, rather than your half of the life will be spent in acquiring, then half of the life will be spent in developing vairag for those things. Om Shanti.